if you want to emulate a successful person, you have to do a few things. A successful person will have good credit, will have no or little debt, will be in shape, will be doing those things at all times to be improving themselves. So I think it's important just to lead by example.
And they see you driving your new Bentley, they see you making $1 million, they see you, I think you have 10 flows of income now?
10.
So people see that, but how does somebody that just got a license get there? But when you got in the business, did you make money your first month, or did it take you time?
Right away. I think this is why both you and I weren't told you need to know a whole bunch of things before you can start making money.
Now you drive the Bentley. I remember that I think the Bentley has always been like one of your dream cars.
Yeah.
Because the first time that we wanted to go see cars, you were like, I want to go see the Bentleys. Remember, that was the first stop we made.
I focus on 4 things. I focus on relationships, systems, social media, and marketing.
I feel like I was thinking I'm going to give him a shot. And I go there, and then that meeting changed both of our lives, because if it weren't for Willie, we wouldn't be here where we are today.
I think that's what separates a good leader from someone that's not a good leader. And I'm not just saying it because it's us, but a good leader develops other people.
Hey guys, welcome. And I'm here with Willy Escobar, not only owner of TMG, not
Boom!
only one of my best friends, he's like a brother. So Willy, cheers on behalf of all your successes.
Cheers, brother. Appreciate
and on that
you.
brand new, nice Bentley that you got.
I know it's nice, right?
You've been. I was telling my dad, he had a tear coming down, and he was so happy for you. And I told him he's been working his ass off for years, and he's wanted to get an exotic. He finally did it. And you could have done it way before, but I know you wanted other things first before you got the car. But before we start, Willy, I know a lot of people know you, but for those of you that don't know you, can you say a little bit about who Willy is?
All right. So who is Willy Escobar?
You're supposed to take a sip, by the way, when we cheers.
Cheers, bro. Sorry, that happens.
Is it good?
Wow,
smooth, huh?
Man. That's good stuff, guys.
So who's Willy? Like, what does Willy do?
Oh man! All right, so let's see here. Without going too in depth of who I am, I've been a lender for 18 years, and how far back should I go? I can go like way back.
We go way back. Yeah,
all right,
it's gonna be like a cool casual one, like just
all right,
enjoying good wine, just shit.
All right, let's do this. Okay, so I was born in New York. My family is originally from Guatemala. I've been in California since I was 2. Parents divorced, I believe, when I was 3. Grew up with my mom. Of course, I grew up with limiting beliefs because I just grew up with my mom. Let's see here. Moved around a lot growing up. I want to say from, let's say, grade school all the way through when I was in high school. I went to 9 or 10 different schools. So talk about being the brand new kid in school. Man, I would get into fights like all the time because I always had to be like earning my stripes in every single school. Long story short, got into the mortgage business 18 years ago. And I think just like you, it was easy, right? I think it was really easy when we got started. Really, you needed no training. All you needed was something called a farm pack. You open up this.
Tell people what's a farm package, because that's the same way I started. And also, if you want to, I don't know if you want to go deep into that, but I remember me and you used to party hardy.
Hard.
And that, I mean, I don't think you regret it. I don't regret it because I had a lot of fun. And I think from that experience, we learned how to become better teachers and mentors to our people, to the young crowd that's coming up. But what's a farm package, and how did you make money from a farm package?
All right, so a farm package is something that you get from a title company. It's basically a book that has names, phone numbers, and addresses. And the training that I got was simply, Willy, open up this book, call these people, tell them that you're going to refinance them, you're going to get them some cash, you're going to pay off their debt, and yeah, that was it. So there was really no training. And nowadays, I think in a way, people have gotten spoiled with training with the company. I think we provide so much training that back in the day, there was no such thing as training. The training was get on the phone and, call a few hundred people a day. And that's how I got started. I got started without knowing much. And I think that to a certain degree, I think that maybe that's the way we should be training our people sometimes, because I think that once you start training people over and over and over and over, they get used to that. Mm-hmm. Now they start wanting more information. Well, let me get on the phones until I have more information. Let me get on the phones until I know how to read documents. So like excuses start coming up, but yeah, I think it's one of the things that we are doing right is training our people.
You know how a lot of new loan officers, they want to get everything right before they start. They want to know all the guidelines before you start. They want to have experience before they even get experience. So they're like in the office studying, going through training, guidelines. And guidelines are really important. You want to be compliant. You want to know your shit. But a lot of these people get stuck just learning all the definitions and all that stuff, and they don't like execute. They don't go after it.
Right.
And one of the things that we teach is you need courage. You need to go out there and shake hands, talk to people, and get known, because it doesn't matter how much stuff you know if nobody knows who you are, if nobody knows that you do mortgages. So I think what we do that's very special, we don't only teach marketing and like being courageous, social media and all, but all that, but we also teach, we teach people the guidelines, the compliance stuff. Mm-hmm. But I think we focus more on, hey, it's good to know the stuff, but people need to know who you are, because if nobody knows who you are, doesn't matter. I see a lot of people with licenses and they study a lot, but they don't have any deals. Like, what do you think? What do you think is the middle part, or what do you recommend people to do when they get a license and they see you driving your new Bentley, they see you making $1 million, they see you, I think you have 10 flows of income now?
10. So
people see that, but how does somebody that just got a license get there?
Best advice is fall on your face, right? Because if we tell everyone, get out there and start talking to people until you know your guidelines, there are thousands of guidelines. I don't know every single guideline. I know you don't either. But that's one thing I tell people is like, there's a big misconception in the real estate business and a lot of businesses is that you need 6 months before you can start making some money. I think that's complete bullshit, because let's say I got into the business today and someone tells me it takes 6 months. But you get into it, and because you're hungry and because maybe you have a family and kids and bills, you get out there and you put 5 or 10 deals into escrow. People are doing that all day that are brand new to the business. It's a matter of how bad do you want it, and also it's a matter of, are you going to let excuses get in the way?
Yeah, and for example, like I got into drug problems. I got 3 DUIs. My first language was Spanish. I didn't know English. I was called a wetback. I was placed on ESL class, special ed class. And I was the most insecure guy in the world. Like I just felt ugly and insecure and no confidence. Yeah. So I get into the mortgage industry. Obviously, I worked on myself a lot and I got better. I lifted weights. I got rid of things that I didn't like about myself. Yeah. But my first month in the mortgage industry, I make $16,000. Crazy. All farm packages. I closed 4 deals. They had a 60% split just because I was dating the daughter of the owner. Mm-hmm. And I got a pretty good split. And going backtracking, I didn't even have a license. And people might be hearing this, but this was like 16, 17 years ago. So I think I'm the statute. What is it called? The statute of to get sued or to get in trouble.
Yeah. Oh, you're good. Statute of limitations.
Yeah, I think it already passed. So I'm recommending from my experience, do not do that. Okay. But I was dating the daughter of the owner, and I got into the business. Back then, by the way, you didn't need a mortgage license. Now you need a mortgage license. Back then, with a real estate license, you could do mortgages. Yeah. So I get in there, I just cold call, and I get right away 4 deals. We close 4 deals, and I make 16 grand. And I was kind of a fast starter in that way. But when you got into business, did you make money your first month, or did it take you time?
Right away. I think this is why both you and I weren't told you need to know a whole bunch of things before you can start making money. It was very, very basic training. Get on the phone, start making phone calls, and this is what you tell people, and that was it. But yeah, and that, on the same token, I think both of us have this in common. We have no excuses. I have never said I had a bad month because rates are high, because people aren't refinancing. I've never offered you an excuse. Like if I have a slow month, that's on me. It's not on anyone else. And same like you, I've never heard an excuse come out of your mouth. And again, I think it's been a while since you and I had a slow month, but it comes down to determination, not having excuses, and really being in touch with what your goals are.
Yeah. And one thing.
Hey, this is some good wine.
It's good. It's good. Some
Shit,
Opus
I'm
wine.
gonna have to take it easy. It's not your typical wine.
Take it hard, man.
Take it hard.
So Willie, one thing that I just can't believe of the way you do it, because you have 10 flows of income. Mm-hmm. You're doing your workshops, EMA workshops.
Yeah.
And then you still close. You're always top 1 or 2nd place in the company every month.
Yeah.
And you work an hour a month, 15 minutes a week on your loans.
Yep.
So how do you do that? And that takes me back also, something that we teach a lot is systems.
Yeah.
Like you recognize that you're not the greatest in everything.
Mm-hmm.
You are great at certain things, and you're probably awful in a lot of things, because I'm awful in a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I hire people that are strong in those departments.
Yep.
And they do all that. And I think that has maybe something to do with why you work 15 minutes a week on your loans, because you have a team. But can you explain how you do that?
So first off, I have an amazing team. I know they'll be watching this. Thank you, team. You guys are all awesome. And this goes back years ago. I remember when we used to have a lunch together, and he used to tell me, man, one day, because I remember Albert already was starting with a system, but he was able to go out and have lunch whenever he wanted, or we'd like be at happy hours having drinks or whatever it was. And while we're talking like, big game, here I was on my phone. I'm like responding to leads.
Remember I used to make fun of me?
Yeah. Or I'd walk away, dude, it's a realtor. Hold on, let me pick this up real quick, because I thought I was going to lose the business, right? But it was kind of like through joking around, and Albert telling me, dude, one day, you're gonna have all these people helping you, and we can just be having our whiskeys and be enjoying life. And I thought it was kind of like a joke. I'm like, how is that even possible, right? Because the mentality of a typical loan officer, and I want to say 99.9 of people in real estate and in loans, is that you need to do everything. You have to speak with every single client every single day, pick up your phone calls 24/7. And through Albert's, advice and playing around, one day I said, man, that makes total sense. I would love to have a team helping me with everything, so I can focus. I focus on 4 things. I focus on relationships, systems, social media, and marketing. That's all I do.
So you literally work on your business.
That's
not in your business.
Nope. Like I mentioned, I have a great team, but I don't look at client documents anymore. Right here and there, if the team gets a little bit stuck, but I've trained them big time where they are experts right now. But yeah, I think we have a responsibility in our position as well, and it doesn't only have to do with having a certain life, but it has to do with the responsibility of being a leader.
Yeah.
Because let's say I'm having all of these clients send me documents all day. Let's say I'm calling every single one of my leads. Some of them, they're not even ready to buy or refinance. That would be irresponsible on my behalf if I'm trying to get my team paid. Because if I'm doing all of these activities that might not be making the company, might not be making me any money, how can I pay my team? So the reason why now it's like all I focus on those 4 things is because it's my responsibility for them to get paid, for them to get bonuses, and of course for them to take care of their families. But yeah, one hour a month is what I spend on my mortgage business. I don't know if you remember this, but we went to see Carl White, remember, in Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah?
He was all sweaty.
Yeah, that guy. And I think it was maybe about 150 of us in a room, and he passed out a sheet of paper, and he said, "All right, guys, start checking off everything that you do as a loan officer." And there was pre-qualifying, calling leads, doing flyers, doing open houses, door knocking, calling past clients, locking loans, separating documents. It was literally like a ton of stuff. And I remember I started checking everything off, and I was like proud. I'm like, fuck yeah. I'm like, man, I do it all. I do it all. And then he asked this question. He's like, all right, guys. So whoever checked off like 20 of those things, raise your hand. And I was one of those. I think I raised my hand and you didn't because you were doing less than I was already. And I was like, man, dude, that's me. I do it all. And I was actually proud of myself because I consider myself to be going above and beyond.
Yeah.
And he said, all right, guys. So those of you that raised your hand, ask yourself this question. Are you a loan officer or are you running a lending business? And I was like, fuck. I remember I looked at you. I was like, damn. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, I was a typical loan officer doing everything. And at that point, I remember if we looked at each other, we're like, all right, well, we got to build a massive team. And that night or the following day is when we went to see Patrick David at his office. Remember, we got all wet with the rain.
And it's funny because you didn't want to go. You were like, I want to stay finish watching the seminar. And I told you, no, we got to go meet Patrick. We're going to go meet Patrick. And then I think that was kind of life-changing also.
Yeah.
I think it was life-changing also because that's where we both learned more about business.
Yeah.
Running your mortgage career like a business instead of working in the business, working on it to grow. And that's how I think that's the main reason how you work such of like 15 minutes in a week, like on your business.
Yeah.
And you have like, and now you drive the Bentley. I remember that I think the Bentley has always been like one of your dream cars.
Yeah.
Because the first time that we wanted to go see cars, you were like, I want to go see the Bentleys. Remember that was the first stop we made.
Yeah, we saw the Aston Martins too.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I remember we went to Patrick's office and he was like, all right, gentlemen, what can I help you with? And we're like, all right, so this is where we are with our production and we want to take the company or our production to this level. And he said, you got to grow a team. It was that simple. It was like maybe like an hour that he gave us. But see, that it's very important when you meet someone that's already doing great and he gives you a little piece of advice, you have to run with it, right? Because a lot of people, I'm sure you get a lot of people, a lot more than me, sending you messages, asking you for advice, and they do nothing with it.
Yeah.
But that's one thing you and I have done well is when we listen to something that makes sense, we're like, man, why are we going to like, recreate something? If someone's telling us that works, why not run with it? But yeah, so I grew my team. Right now I have...
Well, tell us about your life now, like your flows of income, your new car. You bought your wife a car. Mm-hmm. You got, I think, a second or third office now, and your team is growing, and you're doing your EMA.
Yeah.
Like tell us a little bit of where Willie is today.
All right, so this is where Willie is today. I live an amazing life. I really do. I still wake up early every single morning, so don't get it twisted. There's some people that get some flows of income, then they think they made it. I'll be honest with you, I don't think I've made it yet. I think I still have like a long way to go. Some people that say, I've made it, I'm done, I think that's when they stop growing, right? But personally, I still want to feel like I'm getting started, still want to feel like, yes, I have accomplished something, but I'm not nearly where I need to be. So yeah, my life is good. My wife helps me, or helps us with our business. I started this company called Elite Mastermind Academy, where I train people on mindset, on systems, on how to grow a business, on delegation, finances, eliminating limiting beliefs. And I have that about every 2 or 3 months. And just from that business alone, we have approximately 5 or 6 flows of income. And then my wife recently started her own business that, of course, it's our business too. And it's called Gracefully Fierce, which is a seminar or workshop just for women. and that's giving us another 2 flows of income. So now our main purpose that where we feel we are growing with my wife is helping others succeed.
And it wasn't always like that, though. I remember there was a moment in life where you wanted to commit
Oh yeah,
suicide.
yeah, absolutely. So I want to say this was probably
And it's there's a big gap between being so down that you wanted to commit suicide, because it's a real story, and people might think that we're joking,
Oh yeah,
or it's
no.
funny. It's not funny. He was actually.
I was ready to
and I've
jump
heard
off
his
a
story
cliff.
a few times already, but maybe you guys haven't. But maybe you are in a position right now where you think it's the end and you want to give up, and Willie was about to give up, and now he turned his life around 180 degrees. Like, how do you go from like the bottom
Yeah,
to the top?
man, it was just
Like, what was going through your mind when you were gonna?
so it was literally like a quick shift of mindset. The biggest thing that was happening was financial. That was it. That was it. I didn't have any health issues. No one in my family had any health issues. But because of finances, I was having relationship problems. Right. So it was those two things. Yeah, and I was literally about to jump off a cliff in San Pedro. For those of you that are in California, San Pedro, and I was like about to jump off, and I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what a dumbass. I'm literally gonna take my life because of financial issues. And right away, I was like, someone somewhere in the world right now would be happy to have these issues, because there's people that literally have to walk miles to like get a drink of water. They have to, walk miles to school or to work, and a few things went through my mind. Some were actually kind of funny, but one is I was driving my mom's car because I couldn't afford to have my own car. I was like, one of the thoughts was, who's gonna get this car back to my mom, right? And then number two is, it was, of course, my kids are gonna grow up without a dad, and then Christine, she's not gonna have a husband. And then what was the third one? What if I jump off, and what if I don't die? What if I stay alive and I'm all screwed up for the rest of my life? So yeah, I just turned around, and I remember driving home, and I told myself, all right, that was rock bottom. I know who Willie Escobar is. I know I'm a badass.
What year was this?
So I want to say maybe like 2014.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was probably the year when we got together. Probably like a few months before then is when I was like gonna call it quits.
So it kind of saved your life then.
I think you did, brother. I think, yeah.
So moving forward, how is it? How do you start doing better? Is it like from that day to the next, your mindset just changes you, or was it a struggle to improve like year by year? When did you start making money again?
See, I don't think it was even that hard. See, a lot of people think, okay, yes, it does come to action and results, but if you are taking action without the right mindset, it's just not going to happen. So what happened with me was, I just decided that was it. I was tired of being broke, tired of being tired, and I just started waking up early. I started reading books. I started just taking action. But I started making money. I want to say, so in 2014, I want to say my W-2, because I was working like for a direct lender, my W-2 was maybe 60,000 for that year. But if you take away taxes and all that, you're really making like 45,000. That's not a lot of money to like support your family with. Luckily, my wife was working. She was a speech therapist. And then we got together in December of 2014, and you gave me 3 tips that I followed all of them.
And by the way, that lunch was not gonna happen. And you guys know how transparent I am. I'm in my place with my wife. She wasn't my wife back then, but my now wife, Sil. We're right there, and I'm telling her I'm gonna go meet this guy, but I don't think I'm gonna go. Like, no, I'm not gonna go. And I'm like, this guy's gonna be a waste of time. He's he's not doing too well. And,
it was worth the meeting, right?
it was sure, yeah, it was. And I'm just being honest, guys, because maybe you're going through something similar. But I'm like, I'm not gonna meet this guy. I'm not gonna give him a chance. I got better things to do. I'm gonna waste my time at Panini Cafe to meet this guy. He's doing bad. And I was basing it on like the past and like what the people I used to hang out with, the people we used to hang out with.
Right.
And I was about to not go, and then my wife tells me, "Well, he's coming all the way over here. He's already there. It's like down the street. Just go and see him." And I'm like,
is that why you were late? I was like,
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
Albert, shit, he's not gonna show up.
and you probably thought I wasn't gonna show up, huh?
Yeah.
I was literally like, fuck. You know what? Let me just show up there for this guy.
I was like, perfect. I hope he doesn't come, because I literally had like $40 in the bank. I was like, man, please don't come, because if he comes now, I gotta treat him. What if my card doesn't go through? And I'll just drive by McDonald's and spend like $2 on a dollar menu.
And I think he was really excited. I think he wanted me to go, and then I just thought about a lot of things, and I said, you know what? Let me just go there and let me talk to him. And I feel like I was thinking I'm gonna give him a shot, and I go there, and then that meeting changed both of our lives, because if it weren't for Willie, we wouldn't be here where we are today. And I think that from that meeting, I was able to give you some advice, but you were the one that executed, and you were the one that went and capitalized.
Yep.
So like talk about the simple things that we talked about in that meeting.
Simple things. Number one is stop hanging around the same people I was around. Number two was get an assistant as soon as you can. And number three, he told me follow Uncle G. And I followed those three things, and it just, my life changed. I started executing. I opened up, I joined the company, I think about 9 or 10 months later. I opened up my first little office with a partner, but she ended up leaving. Hired my first assistant, and when she left, I remember I called you. I was like, fuck. I was like, dude, she left me with the assistant, left me with the office. And you gave me, you said something that was so simple. See, Albert doesn't elaborate too much on some things, but he'll say he'll give you like half of a sentence, and you're like, oh shit, that shit makes sense. And he told me, dude, that's perfect. Now you have your own assistant. I was like, oh shit, all right, that's cool. And then from there, I remember we went to the seminar in the Virgin Islands. Remember, and it was about growing and all that, and I happened to I was having a really good month. Then I was like, dude, what do you think? Should I buy an investment, or should I get a larger office? Remember we were in the pool.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, just get a larger office. And I was like, all right, got the larger office. I think literally like 3 months later, I ended up buying 2 investments like in the same month. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you were saying the papers in the back of the car. Yeah. But like tip for recruiters, if you're out there, or if you see something in somebody, like I saw something in Willie, I said, once I finished talking to him, I thought to myself, this guy has a lot of potential. And I gave him so much value. And then I took you to see my car. Remember, I think I was driving the Maserati.
Yeah.
I was driving the Maserati.
Yep.
Quattroporte. And this is 2014-ish. And I don't tell Willie anything about, hey, come join the company, because you were closing decent loans, but you were, he was getting paid less because he was with another company.
Yeah.
And I didn't even try to tell him, hey, join me, become one of my loan officers or nothing. I just gave him value. I showed him the car, which inspired him, and he was driving those funny
Prius.
cars, the Prius. And I told Willie,
the funny cars.
I told Willie, hey, later down the road, if you're ever interested in, coming along, joining me, hit me up. And bye. See you later, Willie. Text me, call me if you need anything. And that kind of planted a seed, because I wasn't like too aggressive, like, hey, come join me. Hey, come on.
Right, just planted the seed.
And I gave him value, and I just planted a seed. And then 9 months later, he joins. And I think like when you get good people, you have to be patient. Because like the same thing with my wife, it took me 8 months to take her on a date after I met her. And then Willie came, he was the first one to join the company. Because remember, when you start a company, you have nobody. And even if you get somebody like Willie, or if you get or if you get a new loan officer like Oscar, and it's only you, they're gonna bring in a little bit of extra money to the company that's gonna help the company survive and grow. And then people saw Willie come in, and then another person join, and then another person join. And then you make all the mistakes in business where you hire the wrong people, you hire the wrong staff, you get sued, you get audited, and all these crazy, scary things that happen in business. But one of the things that very important for everybody to see is how what helped us survive and what helped us have that cushion was that we invested in real estate. So we had these little 4-unit properties that went up in value. They appreciated, and they also gave us tax write-offs. They also gave us monthly income. We did it with our own money. And then the little money that we planted to get these 4 little units, 3 little units went up in value. And whenever we needed to make moves or just survive, we sold the property, we cashed out, and that helped us grow. So that's one of the things that I like that you do, that people that you bring in, you don't only coach you don't coach the mindset part, you don't coach the mortgage side, you coach them how to become better fathers,
Absolutely.
better husbands, better leaders. Hey, by the way, if you're making money, you know what? Put some money aside, get some multi-units. So I really like about what you've done to Melissa and Andy. But talk about Andy. You mentored Andy. So it's like I helped you, but then you helped Andy. Andy now drives a Lambo. He's one of the top earners in the company. He has his office in Modesto where he grew up in. And his dream was to join us and then open up his own office in Modesto. He did that. And now he's driving a Lambo. How do you feel when you help others grow as compared to when you get your victories?
Man, it's amazing, but I actually feel more excited about Andy driving his Lambo than I do about driving my Bentley. Right? Like I think it's probably the same for you. Like you probably jump in your Ferrari and you're like, all right, it's a car.
Yeah, my dad was crying right now when he saw you with the Bentley. I was like,
I kind of noticed it. Yeah, but
you got emotional.
Yeah, it's really cool because I think that's what separates a good leader from someone that's not a good leader. And I'm not just saying it because it's us, but a good leader develops other people, and they do it not because okay, I'm gonna make some money off this person. Like it doesn't even matter. Like we make our own money. Like if my loan officers were not making me any money, I would be fine. But it really comes with the satisfaction seeing other people succeed, driving nice cars, investing in properties, traveling. Now someone like Andy, he has literally, I believe he posted yesterday, 23 or 25 people on his team. Now he's changing the lives of a lot of people, and through those people it's just going to blow up into thousands. And I think someone like Andy, what has helped them, and I want to say this maybe happens 1 out of 100, is that just like I have followed everything that all of the advice that you gave me, he took every single thing that I gave him, all of the advice, and he ran with it. Like when I would tell him to show up at, I kid you not, well, I'm sure you saw the post. If I would tell Andy show up at 4:30, and Melissa too, they would show up at 4:30.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, oh man, it's 5:30, sorry I slept in. If I was ready to give them some advice and also go out of my way and leave my family and wake up early to give them information at 4:30 in the morning, they would show up. And I think that's what separates people that are committed versus people that are interested. People that are committed, they do everything. They're like, man, all right, well, I'd rather not have a chip on my shoulder. Let me see what's working for him because obviously something's working, and let me just duplicate it. But some people come into this business and they don't want to do everything. All right. Sometimes something tells them, well, let me see if it's true. Let me do it my way, or their ego gets in the way. And man, I don't want to be learning from this guy. Let me, it just doesn't make sense why sometimes people come to you and they still have a chip on their shoulder.
And you know what I really like, I think something that really, or maybe you could tell me better, but I know now you have no debt. You have more money than ever in the bank account.
Yeah.
And you have a lot of flows of income.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're working, you're working a lot on yourself, in yourself, on yourself, and things that you weren't happy with. You're like, okay, you know what? If I don't like the way I look, I'm working out. But all this extra money in the bank, all these extra flows of income, I see like the relationship with you and Christine like better than ever.
It's good.
And a lot of problems happen when you're running low on funds. And I think now with that experience that you've gained, like it's very, there's no price to it for people to learn from you. And what I like a lot is that you're changing a lot of lives with EMA. Talk a little bit about what you teach in your EMA workshops.
All right, cool. Before I do that right now, you were talking about, good credit, money in the bank. That's one thing that...
Or what helped you get to that point where you have no debt, a lot of money in the bank? What's the difference? Because before you were making a lot of money, now you're making a lot of money, making more money. But before, why did you have more debt? Why did you have less money as compared to now? Like there has to be like maybe one or two key things that you changed.
I think the key thing is if you want to emulate a successful person, you have to do a few things. A successful person will have good credit. Okay? Will have no or little debt. Will be in shape. Will be doing those things at all times to be improving themselves. So it's like I can't let's say counsel a client to work on their credit if I have bad credit.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't tell a client invest in multi-units if I haven't done it myself. So I think it's important just to lead by example. When you were talking about all that, I was thinking about this the other day. There's probably a lot of people that look at us on social media and say, man, they drive nice cars, they take all these vacations, they probably have a whole bunch of debt, they probably have all kinds of issues, they probably don't have money in the bank. I can tell you every single one of the top people in the company, I don't want to say every single person because that wouldn't be true, but every single one of the top people in the company have good credit, money in the bank, no issues, literally like leading by example.
Yeah.
Right? Because a lot of people, I'm sure you probably get those messages. You have like, I'm sure like a ton of haters.
I'm saying highlight. It would be a good highlight. But because I mean, for you guys too, people see us and they're like, like when I got the Ferrari, people were like, he's leasing it. It's not his. He rented it. And then it's like year 2. Oh, yeah, he's leasing it. He's about to lose it. Year 3, is he leasing it or did he buy it or what's going on? And then year 4, they're like, I'm stupid if I keep talking shit about this guy that's leasing it because now he has 2.
Now let me follow him.
So he's like, then year 5, they're like, fuck, like, okay, well, if you can't beat him, join him. But
maybe he's hiding the car from the repo guy.
But then when you see others, I think this is a key point that changed our company and just scaled the valuation of the company, what it's worth.
Yeah.
And it's on steroids right now. It's about to blow up. It's about to blow up big.
Crazy.
And now when people are seeing like, wait a minute, so did this guy just got a Ferrari too? This guy got a Lambo. This guy got a Bentley. This other girl got a Ferrari. And people are just seeing, damn. This person just got a new house. Yeah. And people are like seeing it. And it's like, I think that company, that environment has something to do with it. And now people we're attracting good, great people. And like 4 of our core values that I really love, that we focus on, we want to get people that are ethical. We want to get people that work hard, that have work ethic, because I never met somebody successful that doesn't have work ethic. And a lot of people think man, I'm working too hard. I'm working too hard. And they're 25. They're 27. They're like, hey, sometimes it takes you working hard 40 years to finally make it. It took me 37 years. Took you a few more years, not a lot more, but it took you a few more years. So people think like, man, I'm working too hard. I'm working too hard. And they're young still. They still have to pay the price, but they don't realize that. But you have to work hard. And an attitude. Yeah, I understand. You're 27, you're 25, and you're working too hard. I understand that. But I understand something happened, personal life, something happened, but you still have to show up with the right attitude because we all had things that happened to us. And then what's another thing? Loyalty. No matter how much in a tight spot you are in, always do the right thing.
Yeah.
Like instead of taking or stealing or lying, be upfront. Be like, Willie, brother, I need you to wire me $500,000. Like I'm in trouble. I'm gonna pay you back in 6 months. You trust me? Get it. That's better than just being like, hey, you know what? Let me steal money here. Let me take a shortcut here. Now I have friends that if I'm in trouble, I could ask him to send me a few million, and they'll do it like that. I could be like, hey, Brad, can you send me a couple million? I'll pay you back in 6 months. But that's what you build by being loyal, by being ethical, and by doing the right things. I believe in karma, and I think when you focus on helping as many people as you can, and you focus on helping, just money comes your way. And I think there's a lot of goodness in you, Willie, that you always want to help. Like we were having a conversation before this. You're like, I want to help this person for free. I don't want this person to pay me because I think this person, I see something in this person, and I want to do it for free. And you're always about give. So I just really want to salute you for that, and just keep doing that because that's going to make you wealthy. That's the true value of wealth is when you give, when you help, and when you have good people, good friends around you.
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's why I am happy. I don't want to say all the time because we have our days, we have our moments, but most of the time I am happy just because I really have made my life about giving. I mean, regardless, am I going to make some money out of it? It doesn't matter. Why? Because I'm fortunate right now and I'm blessed and grateful that I have these flows of income. So let's say charging this person that we were talking about, I had told her I was going to charge her $1,000 for a month of coaching. Could I have charged her today and had an extra $1,000? Easy. But I think I gain a lot more by being a bigger person and saying, let me do it for free. And she was like, oh my God. She's like, can't believe it. You would help me for free. It's like, yeah, you're not going to help everyone for free because we do have to make some money and earn a living. But once in a while, like to do something just out of the goodness of your heart, why not? Because we've all been in a spot where it's like, man, I just need a little bit of help and we're going to, I'm going to blow up.
And that 1,000 is going to probably turn into 100,000. That's going to come back to you.
Yeah, I mean.
Do you believe that your experience and your mistakes made you be a good person?
Huge. Yeah, huge.
Did you ever do bad things?
Like what? Like drugs? All I can say is cocaine is a hell of a drug.
Were you ever unethical? Like did you ever steal, cheat, or lie?
Never. I've never stolen anything. I've never sold drugs. I've never. Yeah, I mean, you could say when I got into the mortgage business, I think we all did something a little bit funky, to be honest, but no one's watching this. That's what we are kind of trained to do, right? Here and there you do, a little bit of like stated income where but as far as like something unethical where I will take a loan from another loan officer that works with me, never.
And also something very important for people to know, back then we had stated income loans, which means I could be like, Jesus, you're a marketing director, right? And let's just say your salary is X. Well, you know what? Don't worry, Jesus. I'll help you qualify for a house. I'm going to verify that you make $1 million a year. And they would call the employer and then, hey, Jesus works for you? Yes. Jesus makes $1 million a year? Yes. Okay, cool.
Right.
He's qualified for a $2 million home here in Beverly Hills. And yeah, you're approved. Easy. And you get the house.
Yeah.
And then you get this house, and then you have a negative payment. So the payment,
crazy.
let's just say the payment for a $2 million home, okay? Let's just say the payment is what, 14,000?
Yeah.
$14,000 a month. So $14,000. Am I off or am I good?
Between
More or less.
12 and 14.
So let's just say it's $14,000 a month, and Jesus has this bright idea. Oh, I have 5 bedrooms. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rent each room for $2,500,
Yeah.
$2,500. He gets creative, and he's living there. And guess what? Payment is $14,000, but the negative arm, the negative option, allows Jesus to pay $7,000, and the other $7,000 difference, he doesn't have to pay it. He delays it. It goes on top of his principal balance. So every month, his loan balance goes up $7,000. $7,000.
Crazy.
They used to have these loans because
I did one of those.
Yeah.
Just one. Yeah.
and guess what? You made a lot of money with those.
It's
So you
crazy.
made double the money. So the properties,
money.
the bank is thinking, well, if we add $7,000 a month to the loan, the house is appreciating way more than $7,000 because this is when the prices were blowing up. And this made sense for the bank. The bank thought, oh, the prices are going to keep going up. Everything's going to be great. All you needed was good credit and somebody to verify that you work for them and you make a lot of money. So
Crazy.
people were making that. And then the commissions were enormous. You're making 6% of $2 million. A lot of money.
That's crazy.
Everybody was driving. Everybody in real estate was killing it. Easy money. Everybody had homes. And then guess what? 2008 happens.
Boom.
So one of the things that we have that's the main reason why we're doing so good right now, besides all the other stuff that I mentioned, being ethical and all that, is that we have that experience of losing it, making mistakes,
Yeah.
being broke. And now in today's world, everything is full documents. Everything you got to qualify. Everything's by the book.
Yeah.
So now we're teaching people how to be. We have both experience. You wanted to say something?
Yeah. Now this right here, because we went through the market crash and we learned and we hit rock bottom. Some people didn't learn though,
Yeah.
right? Because we both know some people that are still talking about, oh yeah, back in the day, like dude, that was like freaking like like shit, almost 15 years ago or whatever it was, like 13 years ago. Like people are still talking about, man, back in days, man, I was killing it. I was like, bro, but didn't you learn anything back then? It's a matter of choice whether or not you take your experiences and you learn something from it. And that's what we did, because I know no matter what, Albert, you and I will never go back to those days.
Yeah.
Never, ever go back to those days, because now we're businessmen. Back then, we were making a ton of money and we were not businessmen.
Yeah.
Like I had a huge office in the Mid-Wilshire district, 45 loan officers, 8,000 square foot office. I think I was 29, but I was mismanaging it. I was partying it up. I was, just having a good time. No one taught me how to be a businessman, right? Then the market crashed, and then you learn, shit, I really did not have a business. I just had a big ass office, a whole bunch of people in there making a ton of money. I was making a ton of money, but I was mismanaging, because you really don't learn how to become a businessman out of nowhere. I think you need to, maybe do things the wrong way, read books, associate with the right people, and realize that you just don't want to be just like an average person. You want to have a solid business.
And now, brother, call your brother because he's not Willie. He's my brother. And I've introduced you to a lot of contacts, right? You made relationships. You were on Dropping Bombs with Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
Like you have a lot of accomplishments.
We should go back
And
soon.
We are. I'm actually going to be there this weekend. But we'll go back. We'll go back in a couple of weeks.
TFTI. Not just kidding.
I'm supporting my buddy, but
who's going?
Rob. He's gonna be on Dropping Bombs.
Sweet.
Super,
Rob's cool.
super smart financial guy.
Rob's really
So
cool.
we had, and this is also very important, and we'll end it with this, and then I want you to tell people where they could see EMA. By the way, quick favor, you could drop me off in a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Where
So I don't want to say where about. Actually,
airport?
I could say it because we're not live. So at Tao, because I gotta go to Tao. It's by Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
So I think that's going towards Pasadena, right?
Yeah,
We're
it's all good. Yeah.
Cool. You guys can cut this out.
No worries.
But this is very important for all of you guys to see this, because people might see me and you see Albert and all the things he has. You see Willie and all the things he has. But it wasn't like when you joined TMG, it was first the mortgage guy. Then it became the mortgage guys. We had a lot of meetings. We spoke a lot, and we had ups and downs. There were moments where I think you were close to leaving, and there were moments where I was maybe
Giving me the cold shoulder?
yeah, I would
remember.
say so. But I'm just saying this because I want you guys to know this. Like there were moments where it was like kind of like this might be the end of Albert and Willie. And it's kind of like
It was really over something stupid, by the way.
and it.
Do you remember what it was? No,
I honestly, it was like it was just like it was so stupid.
It was
that I don't even think it's important. But
yeah, it was dumb.
But this just is to show you that starting a business from scratch is very challenging. It's very scary. And there's two things that are the scariest things, the most dangerous things: being an entrepreneur, and also being in the army, because any day you could die. You could get a stroke and die in business, or you could get shot in the army. And I think that those when we had those issues and we fixed them, then we had another issue, we fixed it. That just made us stronger.
Yeah.
And we learned a lot about each other and about ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
And because of that, because we were man enough to have a confrontation and talk about like, okay, I don't agree with this, I don't agree with this, let's do this. And we both grew as people. Mm-hmm. We both grew as leaders. And now we were able to teach the people that were coming
I think
on.
we're like stronger than ever though.
And this leads me to like, how does it feel to be an owner of the company after all these
look
years?
At that. So, it's an amazing feeling, and I think
it's yours. TMG is now it's yours.
Part of it. Thank you, brother.
It was always yours, but now officially it's
official. Now I can officially get a tattoo, right? TMG right here, or get some wings in my back that TMG.
But you earned it, brother. You earned it. And most people want it, or they want to give input, but they haven't earned it. They haven't done shit.
Yeah.
So like, what does that mean to you, if I could ask?
It's an amazing feeling, and this is what it comes down to. Why I know I've earned it, because I've contributed to the company. Right. I've brought people in. I've helped with training. I've helped with ideas. I think I've contributed in so many ways, and I wear TMG on my sleeve. Like I don't try to, I mean, everyone does it for different reasons, but I don't try to brand, just Willy Escobar. I'm always, if I could bring people into the company, I'm proud to do it. But yeah, I think it comes down with really being loyal and really wearing your company on your sleeve and saying, I'm going to help this company grow regardless of what it means for me.
Yeah. And I feel like if I have to leave for 2 weeks or a month, like you represent the company, you bleed the company, you sweat the company, you dream the company. And I feel like 100% comfortable if I have to leave for 30 days that you will run the company just as good or better than me.
So you better take me if it's for 30 days.
But you got a special ring. My ring, I'm gonna get it in the next couple of days.
Nice.
It's already made, so it feels good having that company owner. Yeah. So now
I get a lot of compliments, by the way.
Oh,
it's pretty cool.
It matches your watch too.
It does, yeah. I think I'm gonna get it gold plated right here, so it matches.
So guys, you will be hearing a lot from Willy. Follow Willy at the Willy Escobar. We're gonna put all his details below. If you don't follow him yet, I'm sure this is gonna get thousands of views. And
follow.
And to end this, I want you to tell people your next EMA, where they could get their tickets, and maybe if you want to give them a deal for whoever watches this.
When are you gonna put it out? Depends when.
It'll be out in the next. It'll be out next week.
Next week. All right, cool. So next week, what's today's date, guys?
So within 7 days.
Within 7 days. All right. So this is what I'm gonna do. All right. So EMA. EMA stands for Elite Mastermind Academy.
Or we could do whatever you want. We could put it out sooner if you want.
Can you can you put it out Monday?
Yeah.
You really?
Done.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. All right, cool.
Are we good, guys? Monday?
Awesome. You guys are awesome. Great team, by the way, guys. You guys are awesome. All right. So Elite Mastermind Academy. What we do is we figure out what's stopping you from achieving success in your life. And to me, success it's just not money. It's mindset, it's family, relationships, businesses. We address limiting beliefs, but we talk about everything that's getting in the way. We talk about taking action, taking that risk. And I am one of those people, like if I start believing in you and I take you under my wing, trust me, big things are going to happen. But next EMA is January 22nd through the 24th. It's going to be in Pasadena most likely, or in the LA area. It's going to be amazing. One thing about EMA is that a lot of like-minded people, a lot of amazing people come together to support each other. There hasn't been one person that has gone through EMA where I'm like, man, I wish that person wouldn't be in here. Everyone is in there just like no ego, no chip on the shoulder. It's like, Willie, let's figure out how come I'm not succeeding. It's really amazing. It's 3 days. 3 days. It's life changing. So this is what I'm going to do. From now until the end of the month, anyone that sends me a DM at thewillyescobar.com or go to elitemastermindacademy.com and you get 50% off through the end of the month. Tickets range anywhere from $19.95. By the way, the $19.95 ticket minus 50% off, you get to be in the first 2 front rows, and you get to have dinner with me, Albert, and all of the speakers. But the tickets range from $19.95 all the way down to $5.95.
Yeah.
So 50% off. You could get in there for like $300.
Yeah, and guys, Willie's also going to be at the boot camp, Driven Business Boot Camp. So you'll hear a lot about Willie. He's not going anywhere. We're going to put all other details below for the EMA event that we're having. And see you guys there. If you guys want to reach out to Willie at the Willy Escobar, thank you so much, brother.
Thank you, brother. Love you.
Love you, man.
Appreciate you.